31 horses and other animals are getting the care they need tonight after being removed from a property in Valley Center over the weekend.
Officials from the County Department of Animal Services got a warrant to take the animals after they say the owner refused to let them on the land to check the animals' welfare.
San Diego 6's John Carroll live in the newsroom with what will happen to the animals now and what could happen to their owner. John.
Well, Netta and Jim, the more than 40 animals rescued include llamas, geese, miniature cattle, a dog, and 31 horses. Now, the llamas, geese, cattle, and dog are being cared for at a county facility in Carlsbad and at a private ranch. The horses, 31 of them, are tonight at a county facility in Bonita. For these 31 horses, mainly mares and a few stallions, the county large animal facility in Bonita must feel like their version of the Ritz-Carlton.
A lot of these horses are very thin. You can count ribs on every one of them.
County Deputy Director of Animal Services Dan D'Souza says the condition these horses were found in, sadly, was not a surprise.
We've known of this person for several years. We would get her into compliance and then things would tend to lapse.
And it's not just malnutrition. Though you can easily see the ribs of these beautiful animals from a distance, you have to get a bit closer to see the other primary sign of neglect, their hooves.
The hooves are continuing to grow, which causes a lot of pain and discomfort on the horses. It may not seem like much, but it will eventually cripple these horses.
Things came to a head after the owners stopped cooperating with Animal Services.
She wouldn't allow us onto the property, so therefore we obtained a search warrant and went onto the property on Saturday and seized all the animals.
To make things even worse, D'Souza says the mares and stallions were kept together. He says some of the mares are probably pregnant. It appears this brown one is fairly far along. Sadly, D'Souza says cases like this are happening all too often.
We had a case just within the last year where we seized 22 horses for neglect. Now this 31 horses.
D'Souza says since the horses arrived here, they've already shown signs of improvement. He says they're much calmer now, and they're all eating hay and drinking water like there's no tomorrow. Along with good daily care by Animal Services employees, a farrier, that's a person who trims horses' hooves, will be out here getting the horses' hooves back in shape. That should all take a couple of weeks.
Our goal is to get them nursed back to health and then eventually get them adopted out to new families. The owner does have the ability to try and reclaim them. Our position is that they should not go back to her.
Now, D'Souza says his department will now wait for a report on the animal's condition from a vet who was on scene as the animals were seized. Depending on what that report says, the owner could face charges ranging from misdemeanors to possible felonies. Live in the newsroom tonight, John Carroll, San Diego 6 News.